KHOU 11 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us on KHOU.com. I'm Cheryl Mercedes. A suspected robber is dead, and tonight, Houston police say they want to talk to the eyewitness who shot and killed him. This happened at a gas station just off Ella Boulevard near Greens Parkway. Police say the suspect pistol whipped a man who was pumping gas. KHOU Winfrey spoke to a legal expert who says the bystander may not be charged.
In surveillance video shared with KHOU 11 News, you see a man pumping gas while his spouse waits in the car. It's around 12:30 a.m. Saturday at the Chevron gas station near Ella Boulevard and Greens Parkway in North Houston. When to the right of the screen, another man runs into frame. Police say that man pistol whipped the man pumping gas and took his wallet. As it's happening, a bystander is watching nearby.
He's in another car parked in front of the store. He sees the robbery. He gets out of his car with a pistol. He shoots once, maybe twice, at the suspect that's running away, and the suspect goes down.
According to the video, it took roughly 10 seconds for it all to happen. The bystander is seen going over to the robbery victim before getting back in his car and taking off.
Person that they robbing could have died. That's not right.
Miss Sandra lives nearby and says this is the first she's hearing of the shooting and says she's grateful the victim is still alive.
If they want their life, they need to leave other people's stuff alone and work and get their own stuff, because people work hard for their money.
Even though the bystander left the scene, it's not clear if he'll face charges. KHOU 11 legal analyst Conroe doubts he will, but says there's always a chance he could.
And in looking at this video, I think anybody would think that this shooting was justified under these circumstances.
She says the location is important. It appears the robbery suspect was shot in the back, but says the bystander could have believed the threat was still real, considering police say the suspected robber first pistol whipped the victim.
And this is an interesting case because it's very similar to the Taqueria shooting we had about a year ago.
Reporting in Houston, KHOU Winfrey, KHOU 11 News.
As our legal analyst Conroe mentioned, this could be similar to what happened inside that taqueria over a year ago when a customer killed a robber. That incident was also caught on surveillance. Now, we've edited this video to not show the shooting. HPD said an armed masked man entered the restaurant and demanded money and wallets from customers. The man who shot him was never criminally charged. His case went before a grand jury, which ultimately cleared him of any wrongdoing. Protesters slowed traffic heading toward terminals at Bush Airport. This happened along JFK Boulevard. Their cars were covered with flags and messages for Palestine. Our photographer says Houston police were out there ticketing drivers. Bush Airport posted on social media just after 2 this afternoon, suggesting that people use Will Clayton Parkway as an alternate route. Around 3:30, traffic seemed to be moving smoothly again. Those protests were happening at the same time First Lady Jill Biden was arriving in Houston. She's in town for a fundraising event for President Biden's campaign. Mrs. Biden didn't take any questions, but she spoke briefly with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. It's not clear if the protests were connected directly to her visit. This week marks 6 years since a kidnapping victim was shot and killed by an FBI agent during a botched rescue attempt. Ulus Vegas was being held for ransom after armed intruders broke into his home in Conroe. He was taken to a home in Houston where an FBI team was brought in to help with the rescue. Instead, an agent shot Vegas through a window, claiming the victim tried to grab his rifle. An HPD investigation determined the agent's story didn't match the evidence. Today, we heard from Vegas' son, Ulus Jr., for the first time. He was only 12 years old when his father was killed.
All these years, I don't even know who did it. And I also just wanted to say, sorry.
Okay. You miss him?
Yeah, that I miss him. And I love him very much. And if you see this, anyone if you have a mother or father, just tell your family members that you love them.
The family is suing the government over Valladares' death. Their attorney says a trial is set for later this year. We asked the FBI for comment. It said, due to pending litigation, they could only give us what the U.S. Attorney's Office said in 2019. It reads, in part, quote, the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Western District of Texas declined to proceed with federal criminal charges against FBI personnel. We conducted an approximate 11-month-long, detailed and careful investigation. Today, family and friends are remembering LaPorte Police Chief Doug Dietrich. He died after a tree cutting accident in East Texas last weekend. His funeral was held at the LaPorte Bulldog Center. An American flag was draped over his casket, and a crowd full of police officers gave the chief a final salute. Dietrich's father was overwhelmed by the show of support and love for his son. After saying a prayer, he addressed the crowd.
I just want to thank you all from the bottom of our hearts for this tremendous show and how much you loved and respect him. I know he loved and respected you all.
Dietrich had been on the force since 1997. He took over as chief last year. Chief Dietrich was 50 years old. Some good news for residents in Montgomery County. Lake Conroe has reopened to normal lake traffic activities, but boaters are urged to be extra careful because there could be large debris under the water in some areas. Well, it's been a cloudy day, but thankfully no rain. Let's go to meteorologist Pat Kaplan. Pat, good news for people living in the areas that flooded earlier this week.
Yeah, it was a cloudy day, but finally, once the sun goes down, now we're starting to clear things out. You can see a live look here from the top of the broadcast studios in the Galleria. We're looking west out towards where the sun just went down there on the horizon. Sunset tonight was at 5:54, so about 12 minutes ago, 13 minutes ago. 61 the high temperature today. Normal is 65. We'll get closer to that as we get to Monday, but it is going to turn chilly as we get into the overnight tonight. 54 right now, 55 at Hobby, same for Sugarland, 51 in Conroe and Huntsville, and then 57 down the island. Hour by hour, it's definitely a night for a jacket as temperatures slip back into the upper 40s. By midnight with clear skies, those numbers will drop fast, and I think by tomorrow morning we could see some upper 30s going farther north. So it's a chilly night for a lot of us. We do see a lot of sunshine though as we get you into Sunday. Monday looks pretty nice as well, and then more clouds start to filter in again as we get towards the middle of the week. So there are the temperatures for tomorrow morning. 39 for Katy and Navasota, 34 in Conroe. We'll do upper 30s to low 40s as you get from the city and point south, and then mid 40s on the island again under mainly clear skies. A lot of river flood warnings still in effect. These are the green boxes that you see all over the map here. These will likely stay in effect here for a couple more days. It takes quite a bit of time for all of that water to eventually recede. So those river levels are going to stay high even with dry weather, I would say, through at least the beginning part of the upcoming week. The good news though is that we do have dry weather coming in, high pressure in charge over the next few days. So the system that gave us the clouds for today now racing off towards the east. That's clearing and colder for the overnight tonight. Tomorrow, sunny, finally, with a lot of sunshine and cooler temperatures. We'll still end up around the 60-degree mark for the afternoon, and then I do think we turn a little bit warmer here as we get into Monday with mainly sunny skies before some high clouds start to filter in towards Tuesday. So there's a snapshot of Sunday morning. Again, low 40s, mainly clear skies out there. Tons of sunshine tomorrow. We'll do low 60s for your high temperatures, and then down to the upper 30s. I think for the city by Monday morning we'll do mid 30s farther north, but then mid 60s as we get to the afternoon, and then as we get into Tuesday, some high clouds start to filter in. These are not going to be rain-producing clouds, but it will filter out the sunshine as we get towards the middle of the week. Looking ahead towards the beginning of February, temperatures do look to warm up a little bit. We'll see a mild start to the month with temperatures probably a few degrees above normal for that first week of the new month. For the overnight, though, 40 with clear and brisk conditions. Tomorrow, it's sunny, it's chilly, 60 for your high temperature. There's the 7-day forecast. We'll do mid-60s then for your Monday. High clouds come in for Tuesday, Wednesday. Still, though, gorgeous days and a lot warmer. We'll do 66 on Tuesday, 70 for Wednesday. More clouds, I would say, overcast for the day on Thursday as a backdoor cold front comes in. That'll knock the numbers down a little bit, but then still mild as we get into Friday with a late shower chance. I'm tracking our next big rain chance, though, by Saturday. Hopefully that should give the rivers enough time to recede and for everybody to clean up after the heavy rain that we saw last week. But that's going to be the next big rain chance, Cheryl, as we get into the start of next weekend.
All right. Meanwhile, we'll enjoy the sunshine. Thank you so much, Pat. Well, you may want to start saving for your next crawfish boil. That's because prices are going a bit up this season. Experts call it a crawfish drought. The LSU Ag Center says it started after last year's harvest. The rice fields are drained in late July, August, and September. After the harvest, there wasn't any rain to resaturate the fields. One Louisiana caterer, however, doesn't think the prices will go up too much.
You're not going to see $4 crawfish this year, or $2.99 live crawfish. It's not going to get there.
Area businesses say people in Northwest Louisiana, for now, expect to pay at least $15 per pound. Ouch. Today, volunteers planted more than 1,000 trees in Wilson Memorial Park. That's in Houston's southeast side. It's part of the city's 38th annual Arbor Day celebrations. While Arbor Day is celebrated by most states in April, in Texas, it's recognized in January because that's when we have ideal temperatures and climate for planting.
For 38 years, Houston has been designated as Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation, which underscores our commitment to greener and a healthier city.
The trees were donated in part by the Apache Corporation, which has provided more than 450,000 trees to the greater Houston area. Accenture and the Texas A&M Forest Service also helped with the project. Love to see the trees being planted, no matter what time of year, Pat.
You definitely don't want to see that dough in 100-degree heat.
No. So now is a great time,
That's the time
in
to do
Texas,
it.
for sure. Thanks so much for joining us for KHOU 11 News at 6. We'll have more for you on TV tonight at 10. See you then.